2 hours. I'm going to go see the movie. Well, this movie. Now, what is this? This is the hit movie. Actually, it's not a hit. I don't know. I haven't spoiled myself whatsoever aside from posters. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
2 hours later.
Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey is the greatest film the human race has ever created. Yes. Hey, what's up guys? Barry B. Benson 2 here, back again with another video. And in today's video, I'm reviewing Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. So there's a chance you might be thinking, what? There's a Winnie the Pooh horror film? And you would be correct, because recently Winnie the Pooh came into the public domain, so anyone can use him, which means that anyone could make a horror flick about him. Thank God. This will hold me off until they finally make the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. Now, before we start off the review, I just want to mention a couple things. I saw a couple other YouTube reviews before I made this one. I watched it after I watched the movie, because if you guys didn't see my YouTube short about this, I didn't want any spoilers aside from posters. So, I saw a lot of people saying that it was like horrible, and personally, I'm not gonna go about it the same way they did, because I feel like how they reviewed it like how you would review your average, like, top budget movie. This movie, I'm gonna give it some leeway for a couple reasons. One, it's made by, like, a group no one knows about. Two, I'm pretty sure this is their first film. I might be wrong, though. And three, the movie had a really low budget. Like, look at this. So it's not gonna be super good. So just take those into account whenever I'm talking about it right now. So just so you know, if this movie had a higher budget and it was made by like someone people actually know about, it would probably get a way lower score than it will in this video. Okay? Alright, let's get started. So, like, if it wasn't obvious enough, by the way, spoilers for Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. You got that? Alright, so anyways, the story. So, as shown from, like, an animated segment at the beginning of the movie, basically, Christopher Robin, he was, like, friends with Winnie the Pooh and all of his bros and stuff. You know, the normal stuff. But then he left them behind whenever he had to go to college, and because of that, they got brought food by him, so they kind of went wild and started killing shit. And they specifically murdered Eeyore, and yeah, you can see his gravestone in the background of one of the scenes, which is pretty cool. So anyways, that's the basic plot. They're like evil killers now because they got domesticated, and they're pissed at Christopher Robin for leaving them all these years. Now, that's the basic plot of the movie. Now let's get into, like, basically the story. So, like, I'm just gonna kind of go through how the movie plays out, okay? So as for the other side of the story, basically Christopher Robin, he's like back from college. So he comes back to meet Winnie the Pooh and all of his bros again with his wife. Spoiler warning, they fucking murder his wife. And they keep him captive as and torture him and shit. Meanwhile, these like girls, they go to this like Holiday Inn or whatever. a little place to hang out because their therapist recommended it. And, this just so happens to be by Winnie the Pooh's murder dungeon. So him and Piglet begin stalking them and killing them. Yeah. They basically kill some girls, torture Christopher Robin, take some girls back to their hideout, torture, take girls, that kind of stuff. So, anyways, that's kind of the movie. At least story-wise. Now, when it comes to storytelling, like scenes flowing together, it's complete and utter shit. It just kind of is weird. It starts off with the animated segment, which is good. Then it goes to Christopher Robin's coming back with his wife, which is good. Then they, kidnap him, kill his wife, that sort of stuff. But as soon as it comes to the girls, it goes, completely Speedy Gonzales mode. I feel like we should have had some more time to, deal with the girls' story stuff. It kind of just goes, boom, therapist, go holiday. Then they go to a holiday, and then 5 minutes later, Winnie the Pooh's murdering them up. I feel like we should have got some more time before Winnie the Pooh starts stabbing the shit out of them, even though that's kind of what the whole point of being there was, but still. I feel like the writers, they planned out Act 2 and Act 3, but they had no clue what Act 1 was, because it's basically Act 1 for 10 minutes, and then Act 2 and Act 3 last for half an hour each. Bro, what? They don't really flow very well, like I said. It kind of just goes Winnie the Pooh's backstory, which is good. Then Christopher Robin comes back. And then, instead of giving some development to the girls, they just do the holiday thing. And then immediately Winnie the Pooh's murdering their asses off. It doesn't make any sense why they wouldn't just give them some more development. It would make the movie flow a lot better. And a lot of the scenes just kind of didn't make sense. 1 minute you have a scene, and then the next minute, the other scene, doesn't flow whatsoever with the last scene. Alright guys, so for this next part where we talk about the sets and the costumes, we will be in so welcome to Now why is there this loud ass beep? Well, that's because in you can't use harsh language, so it's censored. What a wonderful time, huh? So yeah, let's just get it started. Now, first, I want to talk about the sets before we talk about the costumes. So let's do that. First is the gas station. I don't really like it. So, not only is it an unnecessary scene, but we'll get to that later. The gas station, it just doesn't look right. Not only is the only reason why the girl's there to see about the pumps, there aren't any pumps outside. And inside the gas station, it kind of just looks like some hoarder's house. Next is the house the girls are staying in. I like it. Obviously, this house wasn't just built for the movie because, the low budget, no way they could afford that. But it's still a great house. They definitely picked a good one. Although some of the rooms seem a bit random and it's kind of unclear, the layout of the house. For example, I have no clue where that indoor pool is supposed to be in the house and stuff like that. It's still pretty good, and the atmosphere outside of the house was good. So, nice job. Now, lastly, for the sets, Winnie the Pooh's hideout. This one is a bit of a mixed bag. For some spots, like the place where they keep Christopher Robin being tortured, and the place where Christopher Robin and his wife hide at the beginning, and just around like the outdoorsy areas, those look pretty good. However, everywhere else, like where that woman's chained up, or like their fire pit area where they killed the woman, and also the place where they like capture Christopher Robin, just looks really fake. Like some of the places I can I can distinctly tell that some of the wood looks like plastic. So it's a mixed bag. I would say the best part is definitely where they keep Christopher Robin. But other than that, the rest of it just looks really fake. Alright, now we're going to talk about the costumes. And just because I can't think of another section to talk about this, I'm just going to talk about the special effect like that in this section. Okay, well, let's do it. So the costumes. Luckily, this part should be quick, which is also why I'm lumping in the special effects. Now, there are only two characters in the movie with costumes, being Winnie the big, fat, disgusting piece of poo, and Piglet. So, yeah. Winnie the Pooh, kind of weird. His mask looks pretty good. Very nice. However, everything else just looks kind of weird. Kind of just looks like a mixture of Mario and a lumberjack. Doesn't really give me Winnie the Pooh vibes, but then again, they did kind of have to give him pants, because, didn't want to just show some dude walking around naked. Also, this is a glaring issue that I think you've noticed by now from the footage I've been showing. These dudes just kind of look like people in masks. It's not it just looks like that because it looks fake. It, looks like that, this is a movie where it's about dudes dressed up in masks. Which, usually I would complain about, but this is Winnie the Pooh. I feel like that's kind of the point. It's supposed to be bad. So, I'll give it a pass on that one. Because, it's Winnie the Pooh. It's not I wasn't going in expecting this to be good. I was expecting it to be but still entertaining. So, Winnie the Pooh, he's alright, his costume. Alright, now let's talk about Piglet's costume. Okay then. Alright then, special effects time. So, let's get started. So, for some of the special effects, for example, the one where Piglet kills that girl in the pool are really good. Really fresh. But other ones just kind of suck. Some of them are in the middle, the one where they grind up the girl, kind of looks like that kind of 3D they would use on Courage the Cowardly Dog. So take that as you will. And the other ones just look kind of mid. Or just passable. You know what I mean? Except for this one. Okay? Tell me how long it takes until this becomes not real. Come on. That scene that I would have just shown you, it looks okay for the first couple of seconds, but afterwards, that eyeball clearly just looks like a plastic eye they got at Spirit Halloween. You know what I mean? Now that I think about it, Piglet's mask also looks like that. But other than that, special effects look kind of fresh. For example, Winnie the Pooh, he has some special effects where they make his ears wiggle and stuff, which are actually kind of nice. And the other ones look okay. However, the effects on that woman who's chained up just are overdone. They should have chilled it out a bit. I think it's the perfect mix is on Christopher Robin's effects. Alright, what do I talk about next? God, I hate this censor. I'm getting the out of here right now. So we're back in the dark abyss that I film all my videos in for some reason. Alright, let's talk about these characters. But before we start this up, I just want to ask, what do you guys think of this Mac Tonight music? Let's first talk about Winnie the Pooh's Berenstein Bears looking ass. Anyways, as a character, Winnie the Pooh is probably the best one in the movie. He probably has the best kills. Well, not really, because the best kill is done by Piglet, but like, he has the majority of good kills. Well, Piglets aren't very good. He only has one really good one. Anyways, as a character, you can kind of feel for Winnie the Pooh, you know, the murderer, which does sound kind of strange, but like, still. Now, one thing that I'd like to mention right now is, I don't fucking understand why Winnie the Pooh and Piglet are using sledgehammers, knives, and just weapons in general to fight. I thought they were going back into their animalistic ways. But, hey, it's better than, I don't know. Anyways, Winnie the Pooh, he's an alright character. And the ending reveal of the movie, and his thoughts on Christopher Robin's revealed at the end, is definitely probably at least my highlight for the film. Now let's talk Christopher Robins. Christopher Robins, kinda, best way I could describe him, is a bitch. Basically, for the entire movie, every time something happens with Winnie the Pooh, when he's not being tortured, he just kind of pleads to him or Piglet to stop doing what they're doing while they're in the middle of killing someone. Why don't you, try and stop them from committing murder? Like, he literally just watches his wife die and just sits there and is like, please stop, please stop. That's literally your wife, bro. Why don't you, punch Piglet in the face or something? Anyways, towards the end, he does something he runs over Winnie the Pooh with a car. See, we would think he changed his mind and now is like, oh, man, these guys are trying to kill me. I should stop being nice to them. But no, then he starts to do it again. Not gonna spoil what happens though, because this is the best part of the movie, so watch it. Now let's talk about the girls. Let's start off with this one because she's has the most character. She's the reason why they're there. Simple. Her therapist tells her that she needs to go relax. And whenever she's trying to relax in this holiday house or whatever, Winnie the Pooh shows up to do some murdering. Boy, oh, that's wacky. Anyways, because her whole gimmick is that she thinks is creeped out because of the fact that the reason why she's there is because she has trauma from some old dude sneaking into her house and doing some creepy stuff while she's sleeping. Now, this doesn't really go anywhere. They just kind of bring it up, and the only thing that this really does in the movie is that for 5 seconds they think Winnie the Pooh is the stalker. But nope. As for the other girls, they don't really do anything. They all just kind of say murder fodder for Winnie the Pooh. I don't really get why they're supposed to be there. Just so that the girl can have some people to hang out with. But whatever. Let's just get into the girls and their personalities. Each character's personality, now I can describe in one word. Social media obsessed, nerd, and lesbians. There. Now, I'm not saying this is a bad thing. After all, this is more than I could say about any other horror characters, really. Like, tell me anything. Tell me any personality traits for, I don't know, some random ass dude Jason kills in the newest Friday the 13th. Yeah, that's what I thought. So, it's better than what they would usually go for, so I'll give them that. Also, I'm not talking about that other girl because she appears for like 1 minute and then dies immediately, so no point in doing so. Now, lastly, let's talk about Warthog Man, aka Piglet. Piglet, he alright. As for his costume, like I mentioned earlier, it's ass, but he's okay as a character. I don't really get why he's using chains to fight people. I always found that stupid. But I like how he uses a sledgehammer, and he has the best kill in the movie in the pool. So that's definitely a plus. I think it's kind of funny that they have him do warthog snorts the whole time. And yeah. The only other notable thing I'd like to mention in this scene, I mean this part of the video, is how I feel like they should have made some of the characters' stuff look worn out. Like, for example, Piglet's sledgehammer looks like brand new, and so like they got so many sledgehammers and they all look brand new. I could have sworn in one of the scenes there was a sledgehammer that had like a sticker on it, like they just bought it at Home Depot. They should like try and make it look more worn out. So yeah, also can I like they just should have made the stuff look more worn out in general. Like, those are the newest looking Timberlands I've ever seen. Now it's time that we talk about the writing, which basically saves this movie. So let's get started. Let's talk about the bad stuff first. The writing is a little bit weird at some times. I don't really get why the people would think Winnie the Pooh is the stalker at first, whenever the girl remembers the stalker as an old man, not some big yellow bear. So that doesn't make much sense. And also, Winnie the Pooh's power level is like drastically, crazily different across the scenes. At the beginning of the movie, he goes from being like what you expect Winnie the Pooh's power level to be, but by the end of the movie, he's as strong as like these guys on screen. But Barry, you said that the writing saves the movie, but all you're talking about is negative stuff. Oh my god, get the hell out of here. I'm getting to that. So, it's time to talk about the good stuff. The story is pretty neat, with Winnie the Pooh going back to their evil ways, or whatever. Although, I did already touch on how them using weapons is stupid. But that's still pretty cool. I like how they point out the fact that they turn off the phones, which, unlike in most horror movies, actually gives you a reason for why they don't just call the cops. Because it's like a no internet relaxation place. But then again, that's pretty unsafe. So that's not very realistic, but whatever. And I also just kind of like how towards the end the scenes flow, and the final scene with Christopher Robin's the girl and Winnie the Pooh is great. Not spoiling it because like that's the best part. So anyways, it's pretty fresh. So overall, what do I, the only person whose opinion matters, think of Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey? Well, it's kind of iffy. It's an okay movie, but I can see why some people fucking despise it, to the point where I see people review bombing it. I feel like the reviews are simultaneous with my feelings. On some part of me, I can absolutely see why people are review bombing it. But on the other part, I can see why on the other side of the spectrum, there are people who are ironically just giving it 5-star ratings. It's one of those films where I would say you watch it, you talk about it for like one day, and then you forget about it. And then you don't watch it again or think about it for like 5 years, and then you watch it every couple years or so. Kind of like The Watch. To put it simply, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey is the kind of movie where you like it, ironically. It doesn't achieve its goal, but it's still entertaining. Get fucked. You thought I wasn't gonna put a jump scare in here, didn't you? You should look at your ugly face. Alright, anyways, that's the end of the review. In all, I give Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey a 6 out of 10. Anyways, sorry if these last two parts seemed a little rushed. It's because someone decided to put out some misinformation, that someone being my mother, saying that this video would be out in like a day after she stated this. So I kind of had to get this video shitted out real quick and finish it off, so that way people wouldn't start being like, oh, where's the video? I thought it was going to be out in a day. So yeah, bye. Have fun. Also, going back to the old outro, because I guess I used too long of the You Got a Friend in Me remix because Disney hit me with that copyright claim. Fuck. On my Barry B. Benson 2 awards because of it. So back to the 5-second outro. Bye.